All right, we are live. Hello. We're live with another episode of the Embracing Joy podcast. And I'm so very excited to introduce our guest with you all, Dr. Lulu. I want to tell you so much about her. She is Dr. Lulu. Pronounce your name, full name for me, Doctor.
I changed my name today.
You
This
did?
is crazy. Yeah, I changed my name today. My dad just called me to ask me about it because I called him to ask him why my grandmother called me that name. So today I decided to go by Dr. Udako. Udako is the name that my grandmother called me throughout my childhood. She never would call me Uchenna or Uche, just would not. And I loathed the name because I wanted her to call me something else. I wanted her to call me Adako. And Adako in Igbo land, in Igbo language, means the daughter of wealth. But Udaku means the balm of wealth. And I didn't realize my grandmother was basically proclaiming something cool when she was calling me Udaku, because I have this soothing effect on my patients. I'm a pediatrician. I am always hugging and always helping people just feel better, feel safer. And so today I was doing some meditation and that came up and I just went down that rabbit hole and I was like, wait, that's what I've been doing. And so I talked with ChatGPT and we're like, okay, I'm going to change my name to Dr. Udaku. So believe it or not, I just changed my name today. Dr. Lulu is my trademark, is my registered trademark, and Dr.
Okay.
Udaku isn't, but I'm definitely going to start going back Dr. Lulu, aka Dr. Udaku, because that's like my name that my grandmother gave me.
And
I
it's
said,
the balm, the
yes, balm
and it's the
of wealth,
balm of wealth. Okay. The
the
palm of
balm.
wealth?
No, the balm,
Balm, like a
BALM.
balm.
Yes,
KLM. Hearing.
BALM, yes, but it's like, it's just, I've been doing, I don't know if you can see my comments, but I've been going through a lot of like just mindset rejuvenation, just really self coaching a lot around my mindset around money and wealth and riches. And I've just been
Mhm.
having like a whole new awakening of that and just getting deeper into my coaching practice with my clients and just getting deeper and deeper. And I have a client coming tomorrow and she's transgender. And I was thinking, I was like, how am I going to really help her feel safe? And then I realized, because I was like, well, I mean, maybe she's worried about money, or maybe she's not. But I'm thinking, well, what if she just wants to be safe? She's trans. She just wants someone who's going to show that they can create a safe space for her. And so that got me thinking about, what I always do is always hug my clients and help them feel safe. I'm like, wait, I was already doing that. And then I felt like it's like a soothing balm. And I said, wait, my middle name, the name that my
Mm,
grandma gave me is about being a
balm.
balm.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
Balm.
everything just kind of came together. I'm like, so I had a moment with my ancestors today, which was really good. She was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
about it. Whenever you get it, you get it. And so I was like, okay, thank you. So that was nice.
And it's a nice memory of your grandmother whenever you say your name now, too.
Yeah.
That meaning. And that rich meaning. I'm sure
And
you're. So, with that being said, Dr. Udako is a
yes.
is a pediatrician. She's a speaker, she's an author, she's a professor, and she's a LGBTQIA healthcare advocate.
Yeah.
And she is a Nigerian born pediatrician, best selling author. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community, and she's nationally recognized speaker on inclusion in healthcare, and she is the creator of the TAHPPP is that and the Affirm Healthcare Professionals Prescription Program. She's the
Yes.
author of 9 books, including her latest, About Your Transgender Child. Wow, so you've done a lot, and your path is not the traditional path of as a pediatrician, especially one that came from Nigeria.
Mm,
So it's kind of an unorthodox path, I would say, or unique, or you kind of a trailblazer in your own way.
in a
Um,
sense. Yeah. Yes.
in a
Aren't we
sense,
all though? Aren't we all? If we
Yes.
all came into the world by ourselves, which is what we did, we're all charting our own paths. And just because someone else has done it, when you do it, it's still your own unique way. So it's never the same. So we're all charting our paths. Some
That's
a
so
little bit
true.
more some a little bit more rebellious than others, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
And you're so humble too, because we all have our own paths, right? But we do our best with what we're given, but some are able to do even more than what you expect from them, from what they were given. And some, it's just, but we do all have our own paths. So
Yeah.
before we go into our discussion, we're going to play a quick game called Convergence,
Oh,
where you heard of this game?
no.
No, okay. So it's the game is to kind of clear your mind and think of the first word that comes to your mind, and we'll see if we say the same word. So,
Mm,
and then we just keep going in sequence. So, for example, if I say kite and you say bird, and then the next time we both say sky, because it's something that connects the two somehow or
mm.
some way.
Okay, I mean, it's a nice icebreaker. I never heard about that before, but I'm going to look it up because I do host a monthly Pride Open Mic night here. So let me write that down because we don't have any more for the rest of the year, but we just did one last Friday. It would have been
Okay.
good to play that game.
Okay.
Okay, the convergence. Okay,
Convergence. It's an improv game. All right.
sounds
So,
like
on the count of three, say the first word that comes to your mind. One, two, three. Tree. I don't know why.
chicken, chicken.
Tree.
Oh my god, chicken.
Okay. Something. So, tree and chicken, the next word that you think of, the first word that comes to mind. One, two, three.
Worm,
Farm.
worm. I said worm. Sorry.
Worm. Okay. So farm and worm, the next word that comes to mind. Ready? First word that comes. One, two, three. Dirt.
Earth. Yeah, earth.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah,
The
same thing.
earth and
Yeah,
the dirt. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. So that was good. So
So the
that was
game ends when we all say the same, when we everyone says the same similar word or what?
we
A
say the
similar
same word. Yeah. Usually the
mm,
same word, but we
or
sometimes
an
similar word
antonym.
is good too. Like
Antonym or synonym? I think it's synonym.
yeah,
I can't
synonym.
synonym. She's gonna kill me for saying antonym, but antonym is I think is the opposite, but synonym is like the
Yes.
same. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the goal is the exact same word. Usually it's the exact same word, like we both say dirt,
Or
but
earth.
or earth,
Because it's
or
both
earth.
worm and they're both. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, or earth. You
I
can't
got it.
repeat the word though.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
I like the game.
And
It's a
then,
pretty good icebreaker. Yeah, I like it.
yeah, it's fun. It's just to get out of your head and say the first word that comes to mind, and
Yeah.
to help you for the next of our questions,
Yes.
which are firstly, you've worn many, many hats. I didn't know this that you were also in the Air Force. you were you were in the Air Force
I
as well?
know. That's like almost 2016 was when I got out. So I did 4 years. I was a
4 years.
lieutenant colonel and a commander. Yes. I like to just try different stuff.
Wow. So you've done many hats. You were a physician in the Air Force commander, you're an author of 9 books, you're an advocate. How has embracing your own identity helped you find deeper joy and purpose overall, be- in spite of the different roles that you may play?
I think it depends on what identity we're speaking about. I think as you get older, as people get older, well, as women get older, or as I get older, let me speak for myself. As I've
Mhm.
gotten older, I've been more comfortable embracing all of my identity, like every single identity. It doesn't matter which one. And I take all of them with me. The work that I do is very nuanced around bias and inclusion. So, of course, I take every single identity with me. Even the Catholic identity comes along because every now and again I have to say Hail Mary, right? I mean, for me, I don't leave anyone at the door anymore because there was a time I gave a talk here in Atlanta to a big, big, big Fortune 500 company, and it was called the talk I gave was titled intersectionality. Well, I think it was the truth about intersectionality at the workplace. That's what it was. The truth about intersectionality at the workplace. And I just had this crazy idea to ask all the people present what identities they leave at the door when they come
Mm.
to work. And I was blown when I heard people like Christian, single mom, politician, my age, I'm big bone. And someone said black. Somebody said my mother is a parent, I'm a parent caregiver. And the other one's like a divorce and just all kinds of things. Like, well, so my question was then, if we're all leaving these identities at the door, then who is your coworker? Do you even
Mhm.
know? Like, who are you really? And I wanted them to, what I was trying to sell them was the idea that I came up, a term that I actually made up that I've trademarked. And the term is reverse intersectionality. I came up with that concept because I realized that for me personally, most of my identities are marginalized. Even though it's physician is in the mix, I'm a black female immigrant physician. So that's still marginalized in a sense. And then in the physician space, I'm a pediatrician. That's kind of like, oh yeah, the surgeons have the way and all the things. So I realized that I had to make a choice. I can stay over here and say, woe is me, which is what the original term intersectionality, when Queen Kimberly Crenshaw coined it in 1989, she wanted to show how multiple marginalized identities increase discrimination, increase disparity, increase bias. While that is all true, I said to myself, well, these are the lemons I've been given. If somebody over there thinks that they're marginalized, that's a them problem, right? I have to use all of my identities to do good. So, what if I use those identities for good, for empowerment, for growth, for healing as a balm? Like, what if I'm able to use all of those to create a community where everybody feels seen? What do I call that? So, it's not a new concept, but there's no term for it that I knew about. So I said,
Mm.
what if we call it reverse intersectionality? So I looked up
Mhm.
reverse intersectionality. It doesn't exist. I mean, I saw one thing on Reddit where somebody was talking about sexual urges and stuff about rich white gay men and whatever, but that was the only place I found it. But my way of thinking about it is as a black queer immigrant, like none of those identities is going anywhere. They're going to be here. And when I walk into a room, I lead with all of them so that somebody might see themselves as queer. Somebody might see themselves as menopausal. Somebody see themselves as a mom of three. Somebody else sees themselves as a pediatrician with short hair, with all the things, right? And just me, by bringing all those identities together, I'm giving each person permission to own their own identity and stop leaving it at the door. So I love the idea. So I'm sending it to as many TEDx stages as I can, like I told you at the beginning, because the whole concept of TEDx is an idea worth spreading, like a different way of looking at something. So it's not just 2 plus 2 equals 4. Is how else can we see 2 plus 2 equals 4? Is there another way
Mhm.
to look at it? So this for me is another way to look at intersectionality, but with a lens of empowerment as opposed to, yeah, well, no. We're here to do good with it. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but
No,
that
I mean, the int all of the experiences and identities that we carry can be strengths
yes, as opposed
rather
to
than as opposed
yes,
to
to
hindrances.
wounds because I was supposed to wound their wings, like as opposed to trauma, which they are. But as we all know, the words you say to yourself get bigger, right? The wolf you feed gets thrives. The negative self-talk can lead you all the way down. So what if you flipped it and say, you know what? Even though I'm a black queer immigrant mother of a transgender child, I'm gonna come in as a black queer immigrant mother of a transgender child who will help you rethink the way you look at black queer immigrant mothers of transgender. I mean, just because I'm coming in not with woe is me, I'm coming in with this is me. Take it or
Mm-hmm.
leave it. Like I'm here and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going anywhere. Something like that. And when I taught it to the class, the owner of the company was so like intrigued. He sent me an email. I said, you have to come teach it to the entire company, the entire 500 or more, 300 or more employees. You don't want to know how much I charge this 500, this Fortune 500 company for that. But I was like, wait, if this guy thinks it's a good idea, it may be a good idea. Like, because we tend to belittle ourselves, like, we don't want to put ourselves out there, especially Black women. We want to like play small and all that. But enough of that. We're not doing that anymore. There's a new sheriff in town, and she's a Black queer woman, and she's not taking any prisoners. So I think I have found that by doing that, everyone else around me actually feels the energy. They get empowered. They feel empowered. They're like, thank you for saying that because I think I am also such. And to me, I feel like, yeah, it's not a toxic positivity. It's more, this is who I am, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I choose not to look at it with a negative lens. I choose
Right.
to look at it, even though I'm 100% disabled by the US Air Force, and I have fibromyalgia, and I'm a mother of three, and one of them is trans, and all these things. There's somebody else who's worse off than me, and there's someone else who's better than me, but I am uniquely me, and that's it. That's all I got. So,
Yeah, I think it goes into what we were talking about offline, which was the self acceptance too. Accepting all of those identities without shame, without blaming yourself, without guilt about it, and using it as a strength. Like, how can I find strength? And who can I, and you can find strength in your being a balm. Well, you find strength in being a balm for others and caring
yes,
for, and those identities help you do that in a
yeah,
way people who don't have those same identities may not be able to share that commonality or be a balm in the same way. So all of those
yeah,
identities, all of that experience helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it definitely is a good thing. And I think it's also is the age of the Black woman, and not just self acceptance, it's also self affirmation, saying that this is who I am authentically. This is, I am who I am. Because affirmation is radical acceptance. It's not just, well, I accept my teeth, but I don't really like my jaw. No, affirmation is like my jaw is just as good as my teeth. And that's it. It's just, you just get to take it or leave it. And, but I say who I say I am. And actually, I don't care if you don't accept it or not because I do. It's like
Mhm.
just helping me feel even better about myself. Now, obviously, I'm a woman. Maybe it's not obvious, but I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm almost 60. My thing is, I wish I had known that when I was younger. So now I want people, other women, Black women especially, to know it at a younger age and begin to embrace it at a younger age. So you don't have to do all the time that we use to finally come to, what if I don't live long enough to come to terms with it, right? So
Mhm.
at younger ages, we want to start teaching those people that you are uniquely how you are and who you are, and it's good. And it's good.
Mhm.
It's not up to somebody to tell you that this is not good. And I used to teach, as someone who used to teach Bible study when I was young, I remind the people who read the Bible, I said, On the seventh day, the Creator looked at what they had created and said, "It is good." So we all have inherent goodness in us. And so somebody cannot tell you that you're not good. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't believe you're not good, nobody can tell you're not good. But sadly, as children, we begin to hear that we're not good as early as toddlers. Stop that. Get away from there. Don't do that. You know, nobody likes you. Nobody, we don't want to play with you. All the things. And then you grow up and then you really begin to embody that. But that's all lies. That's all lies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that wisdom that you share with us. So, speaking of kids, we're talking about like parents of LGBTQ plus youth.
mhm.
Wh- What's a common mistake that you see high achieving or well meaning parents make and with their LGBTQ plus youth kids? And how can they shift to more affirming parenting? I think this is a complicated
Yeah,
question.
it's a little longer for my ADHD brain, but the long and short of it is the commonest mistakes that parents make and how they can flip it around. And that's not too bad. I
Mm-hmm.
think the commonest mistakes, this is from my own personal experience that I made. The number one mistake I made was to not believe my child. And that's the same mistake that my dad made. When I told him I like boys and I like girls, he said, "I think it's a phase." So in
Mm-hmm.
my case, I knew it was not a phase. So I didn't, that was not my mistake. The mistake I made was just not affirming the child when they were young. Rather, the entire time I kept saying, "Stop acting like a girl. Stop acting like a girl. You're not a girl. You're not a girl." And I didn't, and then I was like, well, maybe the kid is gay. Maybe that's why they're a little bit feminine. But well, we're Nigerians, we're black people, we're Christians. Oh my God, the world, they're going to come for me, and I don't want this. So I was like, well, stop acting that way. So that was the number one mistake, assuming that the child was acting,
Mm-hmm.
which is similar to my dad saying it's a phase, because acting means it's not real. A phase means it goes away, right? Same thing,
Mm-hmm.
even as a queer person myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I want to bring that to the forefront that internalized homophobia is real amongst queer people. Internalized, because my dad told me it was going to go away. When I was in medical school in the 80s, they told us it was a mental illness, all the things. So I didn't want to be queer. So I didn't want my kid to be queer because I equated queerness with suffering, queerness with negativity, queerness with something bad. Again, coming back to why I said at one point, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to think anything about me is negative anymore. So the first mistake that I know that I made when the child was young was just saying, "Oh my God, first of all, stop acting like a girl because you're not a girl." The second mistake that most parents make, so besides not believing their child, the second mistake that most parents make is they think that the child is too young to know. Like, well, she's only 5 or she's only 8, or she's only 18. Like, wait, how old were you when you knew your sexuality? Most people will say, well, between 9 and 11. I said, same with your kid. Sexuality is just a broad term for who you like, who you're in love with, or who you are attracted to. That's all. So if we use it in the naked term, sexuality is who you are attracted to. Everybody begins to become aware of it at the age of 9, 10, 11, pre-adolescence. Everybody, gay or straight. But the problem is a lot of heterosexual people know that they became aware of their sexuality between 9 and 11 or between 11 and 13. But for some reason, they don't want their child who is gay to also do the same thing. So that's right? There's a misalignment there. And then the third,
There's a denial there too,
yeah, there's a
right?
denial, but
See-
more than denial, I think honestly, just a misalignment. I know more now that when the child tells them, it's a cognitive dissonance.
Oh,
That's the
that's
word.
what
It's
that's a
a
term.
dissonance.
Yeah.
It's
You
less
see.
that it's not quite just denial. It's just like it's not possible. It's like I don't understand it. And that's why my class that I'm teaching now is called I don't want to say the wrong thing for doctors, and I don't know what to say for parents. Like literally, that's the name of my class. For doctors, is I don't want to say the wrong thing. For parents, is I don't know what to say because it's a shock, it's overwhelm, it's a denial, it's shame, it's guilt. Is did I do this? What did I do wrong? I mean, how did I? Who made you gay? Did I make you gay? And like my ex-husband thought I made the kid gay. So different things like that. So that's a third mistake. I think another mistake for sure that parents make is they think, and this is my kids' words, not mine, they think that they need to accept their child. This is a crucial one. Really, what they need to do is accept themselves and their identity as the parent of a trans child or a queer child. So let me explain that. If we assume that the child is who the child is, which is the truth, right? The child is gay. That is the truth, right? If we assume that as a fix as X, X means your child is gay. The person who has the problem is not the child. The person who has the problem is the parent accepting that they are a parent of a gay child. Because once you accept your identity as the parent of a trans child or the parent of a gay child, affirmation of the child is automatic. You don't have to understand anything, you don't have to explain it. It's like, so that is critical. The biggest reason why children get kicked out of their homes, parents oh, parents disown their kids get kicked out. The biggest problem is the parents don't want to accept it that they gave birth to this child. So it's a self acceptance that is the biggest jump for the parents because the
Mm-hmm.
kid they're queer now because we struggle with accepting. What do? We project it to the child. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't let your friends come to the house because he's gay. Don't go to their house because they're trans, right? And then we begin to feed the child our own biases. Because a newborn baby doesn't have bias. Everything they learn is from us, good, bad, and ugly. So the person that needs to accept themselves is the parent. And what we do with our kids is affirm the child. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just think is accept the child. Yeah, but truly what the child needs is affirm. And what is affirmation? Affirmation means you are who you say you are. I believe you. Acceptance is okay, you can wear that dress today, but don't wear it tomorrow. It's
Mm-hmm.
conditional.
Mm-hmm.
Self acceptance is radical. Like, okay, I am a parent of a transgender child. That's not going to change. And then I can also self affirm myself. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to help my child, support my child, right? All of that comes after I first say to myself, this is who I am. I am a parent of a child who happens to be transgender. That is the work. That is the work.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, for making it plain and clear. I think a lot of people that are parents that are listening or that are kids who may have LGBTQ plus orientation and they didn't see their parents they saw their parents accept them but not affirm them.
Yes.
Because they parents a lot of parents don't know
Yeah,
that
they
they
don't
need.
know. And yeah, and I say that a lot. Let me show you my book. Hold on one second. I say that a lot. That when I told my dad that I like girls and I like boys, my dad He only told me what he knew. So this is my latest book. It's called About Your Black Transgender Child.
Mm-hmm.
Answers to most of your burning questions. Okay, so this is it. But so my dad, he told me, he said it, he thought it was a phase because that's all he knew. So one of the things I do is help children or young adults understand the parent's journey because I was the child and now I'm the parent. And I know I've been both. So I know that the parent's journey is based on how they were raised.
Mm-hmm.
And while they don't know, I get that. They don't understand, I get that. Once you know, you don't have to understand. I say that very clearly. Once you know that your child is LGBT, you don't have to understand. And here's why. Many of the children don't even understand it. They just saw themselves like that. So they can't explain it to you. Like, tell me, how is it? They don't know, mom. This is how I am. I can't explain it. And so holding back and saying, well, I need to understand it first causes a rift between you and your child because a lot of times the child doesn't understand it. I don't know how to explain how I am. Like it's like asking you, well, you explain how come you're straight. You can't explain it. It's just how you are. I say that, but I also say that when it comes to understanding, a lot of times parents, we do a lot of things that we don't understand. I know we go to our friend's wedding, and I was like, I don't understand why she married that guy, but I'm gonna go to the wedding, right? It's like I don't understand why we have to take shelter when there's a hurricane, but I'm gonna take it. Like you don't always have to understand everything. But for some reason, when it comes to your child, and that's going back to what I said about the parent, somehow they reflect it as something about them. And so it's so hard to let go of that je ne sais quoi. Like there's something about me, there's something defective about me to create a defective child. But the child is not defective. So I need parents to understand that they didn't do anything wrong. And the day they understand that they didn't do anything wrong is the beginning of wisdom. Because that's when they say, okay, so I didn't do anything wrong. No, you didn't. Your child would have been gay if they were born by another parent. I just put it, I know that's kind of lighthearted, but I put it that way because the child is complete as they are.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were born by a different parent, they will have still been gay. So it's not you because you have other children who are not gay. It's like it's not you. People are just who they are, they're just how they are. And we don't always have to understand it to support someone. I don't understand. My best friend died of leukemia. I don't understand it, but I'm glad I was there 12 days before she passed away. That to me is important.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean. Like you don't understand many things, but you accept it. Why not your child?
Mm-hmm. That's a great way to put it, you know?
That's the only way I know how to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as far as, we talked about parenting and children, a lot of our listeners are in the healthcare space or healthcare workers as well, physicians. You created the TAHPPP program to help healthcare professionals become more affirming. Can you give an example of what it looks like when a healthcare professional really creates a space where LGBTQ plus joy can thrive?
Yeah, I love this question because, like I said, I had the class was actually supposed to be taught tomorrow, but I had to postpone it because I'm moving this week. But the class I came up with is titled I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I want people to focus on those words. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I cannot tell you how many doctors tell me, Dr. Lulu, I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I don't say anything, right? But in that silence lies bias. In that silence lies harm. In that silence lies a lot of things. But imagine if you said to yourself, it doesn't matter. Because what is the wrong thing, right? If I ask you now, what is the wrong thing? You're like, I don't know. I get to decide if you say the wrong thing. But first, you have to say it. Then
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, well, actually, it's this way. And I correct you, and then we move on. But because we are biased, because we're not taught in medical school, because we don't think we understand it, we put it like such a hard concept. But they're just people just like you, truly. Like they eat 3 square meals, they go to bed, they just like you. They just maybe are attracted to someone that maybe you are not attracted to. And that's okay. Once you see that the LGBT plus community is just like you will never have a hard time saying anything because you're just like another person, just another person. And the truth is, queer people, they don't want special treatment. They just want the same treatment. Like, I just want you to treat me like you treat somebody else. But when you see that I'm trans, suddenly you're like, oh, nothing. I have a headache. Give me my medicine. Let me go. Right? There's nothing to now. If you're an endocrinologist or you're in gender affirming care, that's different. Well, you would already know that. But if you're not, then just give me my medicine and let me go. So the truth is, they just want to be treated like other people. And by the way, the program is called TAP, TAH.
Oh,
So the
thank
H,
you.
so it's just TAP, or the short form is TAP, the Affirm program. But really it's for healthcare professionals. And I put prescription because why not, right? And I was like, okay, let's make it 3 P's and call it a day. But really, the Affirm program is based on the word affirm. The A is awareness. Like just know I means intersex, or non binary means someone who doesn't feel like they're either male or female, or feel like they're both or neither. Like, just know the term. So, awareness of your biases, that maybe when you were growing up, your mother told you that everybody who is gay, there's something wrong with them. Like, just being aware of your biases, being aware of the fact that this person who is transgender, they're just like you. They're not a puzzle to be figured out. They're not to be othered. They just want to use the fucking restroom. I don't know if they cuss on your show. They just want to use the restroom and go home. Like that's it. Like they going into the restroom is a 3 minutes, 3 minutes, and they leave. Doesn't matter what part of the body they're using to use the restroom. So just awareness of those little things that we are using to other these people. And then the first F is the foundation. Going back to what we talked about, when I walk in the room and I say my name is Dr. Lulu, my pronouns are she, her, hers, I'm just using pronouns, which is something that we all learned in kindergarten, because I want you to recognize that my identity as my gender identity is cisgender woman. That's it. And if I'm trans and I look like this, I'll say, well, my pronouns are he, him, or they, them, right? Just so you will know how to talk about me in third person, like they, as opposed to or she. But coming back to one of the examples I use all the time, if you see this particular mouse on the table, you're gonna say somebody left their mouse. You're gonna say
Mm-hmm.
that someone forgot their mouse. So we use they, them all the time for individuals. We've been using it forever. Somebody left their mug. Somebody left their flask. Like we've been doing it. So using they, them is not anything we haven't done before. So that's the foundation. The second F is facilitation, where I literally come into the office and facilitate role playing, facilitate education. Like, okay, let's talk about this. At the age of 2 years old, the average child knows their gender identity. The average child, not the average gay child, not the average trans child, the average child. The 2 year old that you ask who say, I'm a boy or I'm a girl. The problem now is when the boy says, I'm a boy, or the child that you assign male says, I'm a girl, you have a problem with it. But if we believe that everybody knows their gender identity, then when the child says, I'm a boy, just go with it. Like, just roll with it. What's the worst that can happen? the child might be right. And let's just say the child is incorrect, then that means the child will stop like on their own, right? But I don't know any child who insists that they're a boy, is consistent about being a boy, and it persists into childhood. They cannot be wrong. The child knows themselves. You, my friend, know if you're cisgender. I don't have to tell you because I don't know anybody else's gender identity. So that's what I mean by facilitating conversations, deep conversations about their own biases. Bring everything to the table and let's pick them out one by one. Dr. Burt, one of my clients, she has a GYN practice. She said, one day I went into the room and I said, "Hi, my name is Dr. Burt, and my pronouns are she, her," because she's learning, right? And she said, "Well, what pronouns do you prefer, if I might ask?" And the lady said, "Oh, I definitely don't mind you asking. I'm so thankful that you asked me because I go by she, her too." And the Burt was like, "Wait, what?" The lady was like, "Yeah, 60s." And so she said, that's the day I realized I had to throw that bias out the window because just because she's in her 60s doesn't mean that she doesn't know her pronouns. So
Mm-hmm.
these are little biases. But now the practice is changing their mindset. They're knowing that, listen, everybody has pronouns. And if somebody has a problem with their pronouns, it's their problem, not my problem. It's a them problem. And then the first
Mm-hmm.
I is integrating it, or the only I rather. The I is integration into their workflow, into their medical records, into their EHR system, into their insurance system, into the office. Maybe you put a pride flag if you're going to put an American flag. Maybe you put gender neutral bathrooms. Maybe you put pictures of same gender loving people if you're going to put pictures of people. I'm just saying, just representation, right? So when I walk into the room, when I walk into the office, I see people like me. If I go into an office and all the pictures are white people, I don't feel comfortable. It's not about being queer. This is just about me not seeing black people on your walls. It's a representation thing. If I go to a place and a country or a state and they don't have Nigerian food, I don't feel like I belong there because I happen to like Nigerian food. It's my favorite food. When my kids were growing up, like, "Mom, what's your favorite food?" I said, "Nigerian food." "Mom, how can Nigerian food be your favorite food?" I said, "What favorite food do you want me to have? I'm Nigerian. You want me to have Nigerian? My favorite food is Chinese. There's something wrong with me. I'm Nigerian." Do you think a Chinese person would say their favorite food is Nigerian food? It's like, hello. So it's just some basic things like that. So when I go into a place, I want to see black people. I want to see black women. And one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that we're doing is changing the whole PrEP. I don't know if you know, but this is the next level. But talking about PrEP is an HIV medicine. And the fact that most of their commercials up until a couple of years ago only had white men. I was like, how are you going to sell this drug to black people? Who is getting HIV? Black people. Why don't you have a black person on the box? So representation matters. So the I is for integrating into their workflow, into their office. They wear name tags with their pronouns on it, their signage, their website, everything about them. When they talk online, they include their LGBT patients because the patients are looking for doctors who are affirming. It's one of the three things I teach is I teach find me, feel safe, trust me. Like I want you to find me online. When you come to my office, I want you to feel safe. When you're leaving, I want you to trust that I've got your back. It's the basic thing that all patients want. It's not special for LGBT patients.
Mm-hmm.
But if you include that and I see it, what will I do? I'll tell all my friends to come to you. So it's a win-win. And then doctors or healthcare professionals, when we have patients who know, like, and trust us and keep coming back, guess what? We're not going to get burned out. We're going to have job satisfaction because a patient who is happy, who feels seen, who trusts their doctor is a better patient because I'll do what my doctor said I should do because I love my doctor. I feel like my doctor sees me and affirms me. So it's a win, freaking win. The patient is like, "I love Dr. Susie so much. She said I should quit smoking. I'm going to try to quit smoking because Dr. Susie cares about me." This has nothing to do with being LGBT. And that's why I said they don't really want special treatment. I said that at the beginning. They want just the same treatment.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't want is discrimination. Nobody wants that, my friend. nothing to do with LGBT. So these are the things I teach them. And then R is real patient conversations. Like I have a pool of LGBT patients, about 30 of them, depending on where I am. They come to the office or they come on Zoom and they have a conversation with their doctors and they tell their doctors what they've seen. It's a real conversation. So November 20th, I'm having something like that here in Atlanta. We're having a whole red carpet experiment experience. So I'm going to have some LGBT patients and a room filled with Black doctors because because Black patients trust Black doctors. We know that Black patients do better with Black doctors. So imagine a Black queer patient who has a Black affirming doctor. It's over, right? It's like, that's what I'm trying to bring with the TAP. So I have that as a program that I train the doctors. It's 8 modules. And then I have that as an elective at the medical school at Morehouse and other places where I'm a professor. So I'm trying to do my best, baby girl. I'm trying to do my best. So when I leave this world, nobody will say Dr. Lulu didn't do her best or Dr. Udako didn't do her best. They're gonna say, you know what? Beneath this tone lies Dr. Lulu. She did her best. She did her best to show that it's not hard. And even if it's hard, it's doable. Even if you think it's hard, it's doable. So
Mhm.
the Affirm
Well,
program is about.
thank you. That sounds like an amazing program that hopefully will spread even further once you continue on with it.
Yeah.
And definitely, you're doing amazing things.
Yeah, if your
So
listeners want to reach out to me, they should just, I don't know if you're going to put my email. I don't know what you're going to do.
we'll get there, but right now we'll do our wrap up questions.
Yeah, sure.
So, who is a model for joy in your life and why?
I think probably besides myself, my youngest child is a model
Mhm.
of joy. He's just a cool kid, if I have to use those words. All my kids I think are cool, but he specifically is just a cool kid. Like from when he was a child, he would say, when I said, so does this dress look good on me? He said, Mom, do you like it? Like if I said, do you like this? I said, Mom, but do you like it? I was like, yeah, but do you like it? He said, Mom, if you like it, then it doesn't matter if I like it or not. He was 7 years old. I'm like, who is this kid?
Oh.
Right? Who is this kid? And to this day, he will call and ask me how I'm doing and just check on me. I'm just checking on you. No, I don't need anything. I just want to see how you're doing. Did you settle in? Okay. And he's similar to me because his friends love him because he's just like, not necessarily the life of the party, but he has just natural compassion and just wants to help. So people just gravitate to him. But he's not loud like me. He's not crazy like me. No, he has his dad's demeanor, which is calm, but he is very like just caring. And because of that,
Mhm.
he's always happy and joyful. Not the manic kind of joyful, but just he's just a joyful person because he's such a
Right.
caring person. So I
So,
like that for him.
would you say he's more like content, like because
Yeah,
he's so?
I use contentment over happy all the time. But then you said joy, so that's why I was like, yeah, he's joyful in the sense that he's content with everything. He doesn't complain. He knows how to cook. He knows how to clean, and he's 21. He on his birthday. I said, what do you want? He said, Mom, I don't want anything for my birthday. I said, what do you mean? He said, I don't want anything. I'm good. I'm very okay. I said, okay. If I send you some money, he said, if you want to send me some money, you can. But I really don't. I don't want anything. I'm just good. I've never
Mhm.
met a 21-year-old who said that. But
Mhm.
I've only
No.
had one 21-year-old who said that. About the other two, one is 28 and one is 25. Dating, they're like, Mom, I want such and such and such and such. I'm like, oh, but he was like, no, Mom, I don't want anything. So he is
Mhm.
definitely, like, I think he's an epitome of contentment, and therefore he finds joy in just feeling that he has enough already, which I think a lot of us need to find that everything is enough. I have enough
Mhm.
of everything. I don't need more.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I love
even I'm
that.
like that. I'm not like that. I'm like, I want more shoes.
One more. Yeah. What are your top? So for me, the thing I would want more is sweets. Oh, goodness, sweets. So speaking of sweets,
Mm.
if you were baking a metaphorical cake, what would be the top three ingredients? Like example would be like self-acceptance, compassion, peace, whatever your top three ingredients are for your cake of joy.
I think just limitless abundance, just the mindset of limitless abundance, the fact that there's enough for everyone. Like truly, I'm not joking. I rename myself the limitless abundance coach or the limitless confidence coach because I know that it just there's if we could just believe that there's enough of everything, we would not have that scarcity mindset. That scarcity mindset is the reason that the world is the way it is. Like somebody just wants to come and just take everything. No, you can't. First of all, you can never take everything because
Mhm.
there's more. Like you can't even imagine, our brains cannot even imagine just how much abundance there is above the earth, beneath the earth. There's just so much. I mean, I say that because leaves during the fall dry up and wilter and fall. You don't see the tree say, "Oh, I don't want to drop my leaves. Oh my God." No, they believe that in the spring they'll get new leaves. It's a very simple process. Like you just see them, oh, there's fall, it turns yellow and it drops up. And they're not
Yeah,
holding on to their last leaf, like, oh
yeah,
my God. No, they just believe that
yeah. They
there's
just have
more.
to let things go and know that more
Let
is
go. Yeah.
coming. Yeah,
Yeah, I
let
saw
go
that
and know that
somewhere.
more is
Yeah,
coming.
I agree. I saw that somewhere where somebody said if you tighten your hand, the water comes out through all the edges, all the cracks. But if you soften your hand, you can hold the water.
Hmm. That's a good
So
visualization as
yeah,
well.
so there's no
So,
need to
and then you'll
tighten.
get enough to drink at least.
More than enough. Yeah, if you just relax and just let it, like lean
Mhm.
in and just let go. So
So,
it's an
what were your
ongoing
other two
process.
ingredients?
Hmm?
What were your other two
I think once
ingredients?
you have limitless abundance, you don't need anything else because
You
that
don't
is a
need so one
mindset.
cake. Okay.
My cake is a limitless abundance cake.
Abundance
There's
cake.
enough for
Okay.
everybody. Come in and get whatever it is you want is magically already in the cake because the cake has a limitless abundance. And I think that's my answer, and I'm sticking to
I
it.
love Okay. I love that. So, how can our audience reach you? So that's the end of this episode. And if you are listening, if you want to reach out to Dr. Lulu, Dr. Odaku, did I say it for the right the second time?
Udaku,
Odaku.
yes, Udaku. And
Odaku.
let me say something about the cake. I think what I want people to understand is it's limitless abundance, meaning that if it's confidence you want, is limitless. If it's wealth you want, is limitless. If it's joy you want, is limitless. Whatever it is that you want, this cake is already made to provide that. So that's the only ingredient you need. So it's limitless in abundance of X. Now you put X. That's what I want them to get out of that. And it's a mindset that I am working on my own as a person. So I
Mhm.
don't keep thinking, yeah, but I want more of this. No, I want to just believe. It's not a toxic, I keep going back. It's not a toxic positivity. It's just, it's a state of mind you get to. And you realize that you can never be filled with more if you don't first appreciate that you have enough. Truly,
Mhm.
that to me is what I want. And the enough means that there's always, it's going to be there, it's going to replicate. It's like your skin. You don't control it, but it sheds and it replicates every day. You don't know that. Your hair, you don't control it, it falls out and it replicates. So there's enough of it. I really want to drive. Maybe I'm telling myself this more than anything, but I'm driving it home. There's so much, is bastante, is enough, is overflowing.
Mhm.
And so go to the cake and get it sliced and go back and the slice is back. The slice, yeah. So, but yeah. So my Instagram is probably what I'm going to share first. My Instagram is the momatrician. So that's mom and pediatrician together. So the momatrician, Momatrician. The momatrician. That's my Instagram where I mostly just, I don't do much serious stuff on there. On Facebook, maybe a little bit more serious. My handle is Dr. Lulu's Angels Haven because I got hacked so many times on Facebook. I was like, I'm done. Like, if I get hacked again, I'm never going back to Facebook. So Dr. Lulu's Angels Haven is my nonprofit where we raise funds for LGBTQ plus youth experiencing homelessness. So I would love people to go on the website, check it out, give us a penny or two or don't, it's fine. We have enough. Right? So Lulu's Angels Haven is the name of the nonprofit. So that's my Facebook. And then on LinkedIn, where I'm a little bit more serious and tend to post daily about something that I'm thinking about, is Dr. Lulu. So there's about 5 or 6 Dr. Lulus, but the most popular one is what I think. And I'm the one wearing an African outfit, and I'm the one that's looking like really like gorgeous. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. That's how Dr. Lulu got on the podcast. She was looking gorgeous and smiling bright and just being big smiles. And I was like, well, I have to have you on the podcast because you're
Oh,
just so joyous and bright. So
I
it's
like
really
that. Thank you. I did not know that, but I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Ask my kids on a, well, not anymore because they've all grown, but when they were in the home, they're like, my mom is joyous. Are you sure? Because it was, oh my God. But that's when I was actively practicing medicine. I was seeing 40 patients a day, 50 patients a day, and come back and cook and clean and all the things. So I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't think I was very joyous then, which is sad because medicine is a dog eat dog world, you know? But
We're here. So we're going to end the stream and stay on for a second. We just wrap up.
okay.
Thank you, everybody. This was a wonderful episode. Please make sure to like, share this episode, subscribe, and tune in every Friday for our episodes on Spotify as well as on YouTube and embrace more joy. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye.